What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. We only have a couple of days left in the new season. In fact, we know what the new metas are going to look like, so I figured might as well send this season off strong, try out one of my best teams that I've found in this current season, and see just how it can do here at the end of the entire meta. I'm going to be running, of course, Shadow Malamar, one of my favorite Pokemon, as well as Lickilicky and Corviknight, so let's get into the battles and see what this team can do. Alright, we got a match here. Let's see what they're going to run today. Malamar into Malamar. Oh, dude, this is the Tom Scene running the Tom Scene team. Alright, we know what this is. We know it's Carbink. We know it's Venusaur. Which is actually a little bit scary. Carbink is pretty safe into my team through and through. So we'll see how they play this out. I do kind of want to make sure that my Malamar is able to knock out theirs, because I don't have a great way to deal with Malamar on my team. But I don't know necessarily if I win CMP or not. I am a Shadow Malamar, which might have worse stats than their Malamar. It's honestly just kind of 50-50 at this point, though, depending on their stat spread. They could try to go for a catch here, but if they do catch a move, then I win switch advantage, and that's pretty good for me, too. Let's see what they're going to do, though. Big foul play. We see a shield makes sense. At this point, my HP is in a pretty awkward farm down range for them. They're likely going to go for a play here, or they're just going to go for a catch at some point. I wouldn't be surprised, right? Big foul play comes through. We do shield that up. I'm actually going to go for a superpower here, which might be a really bad play, but yes, look at that. They caught on Carbink, which is exactly what I wanted to see. Now, while I don't have a great Carbink answer, I have ways to neutrally deal with this. And since there is likely a Venusaur in the back, once I get rid of Carbink, my Corviknight should be in a pretty good spot. But imagine if I would have foul played. Then that would have been really bad for us, because we would have been in a position here where this Carbink would have been able to tank quite a bit of energy from my Malamar. It would have been pretty healthy as well. So, we'll see what they're going to do. 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright. That is totally fine by me. They're at 12 right now. Could be a Moonblast, but maybe they go just for better pacing and they Rock Slide. No, it is Moonblast for the higher damage output. I'm going to go for the Shadow Ball once again. They're at 2 right now. I'd be very surprised to ever see this Carbink shield. There is a chance they come back in with their Malamar, though. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright. Well, they can't really shield this up, right? Honestly, if they do bring in their Malamar here, I think no matter what, I should probably just switch into my Corviknight if they let this go. Yeah, let's just swap in with Corviknight, especially if the Venusaur comes in, yeah. Malamar will get a superpower or foul play off into us, but that is very fine, because that Venusaur is remarkably useless into Corviknight. It's not even funny. Air Cutter should be able to put them pretty close to knockout range, if not just straight up knock them out there. And we do get a shield there, which is fine. I'll no-shield the first move. They could superpower, but I would expect more so that they would foul play us, because they don't want to debuff themselves immediately. Yeah, so foul play does do slightly less damage. They had to go for the next move. Likely this one is another foul play, but I mean, that's fine. We shield this up. We outpace to the next Air Cutter. And then I still have a half HP Corviknight, plus a Malamar, plus even a bit of a Lickilicky if I need it as a catch later on, which I'm going to be honest, I don't think I will. I don't think that Venusaur is going to have a fun time trying to get through me right now. Do I get a boost? No. But I do get my Corviknight back here. And I mean, I have my Malamar with Psywave Fast Move Pressure as well, so I don't really see much of a way for them to win this game, even if they do somehow knock out my Corviknight. Big Air Cutter, yeah, that's a lot of damage against him. Still no boost. I guessed at this point, I don't need a boost. Let's make sure we don't waste our luck on this game. If they get to 2 moves here, though, then I just Psywave down with my Malamar, and we should be fine. They sludge us. Look at that. Pitiful damage. We have the next Air Cutter, and that's all we're going to need. So while Carbink is a very tricky Pokemon, luckily I kind of called they were going to go for a catch, which was big. If I didn't, and I went for a foul play to that Carbink, that could have been so much more tricky to take down. But we got the win. Next opponent. Let's see if we're going to run into another Carbink. Hopefully not. We don't want to see that Pokemon if we can help it. It's actually going to be a Lickilicky here on this next game. Going to be an interesting matchup. Mainly because I can superpower here if I want to. But like, do I want to? I could be foul playing. Let's see what they're going to try to do. I would imagine here they're going to go for just a body slam after a superpower. Okay, we do get a shield. Oh, they throw instantly? Okay. That's fine. No matter what, I survive this move. And if they go for a Shadow Ball, I just outpace to the next superpower anyway. And if it's a body slam, I definitely survive that. Alright, go for a catch attempt. We do get the catch. which is beautiful. I took a little bit of extra damage on my Malamar than I had to there, because obviously I did debuff my defense stat, but I wanted to guarantee that shield, and I think that's not a bad play. They are staying in for a second here. I'm going to save up some energy just in case I need it more for the back line. But they might be doing that too. No, they're throwing a charge attack. That was potentially enough energy here. If they wanted to, they could go for an Earthquake. No, just a Body Slam. I think they are at back-to-back Body Slams here. Interesting, though, that they are still staying in. So they're a little bit soft to Malamar this game because they were staying in that lead matchup. And they're also, it looks like, a little bit soft to Lickilicky, which is intriguing to me. I have a lot of energy here. I'm not quite sure if a Body Slam knocks them out, though. I don't think it's quite enough from this range, which is a little bit sad, because I don't want to have to waste more energy here or shield. But, you know, if it comes to it, we'll invest. Body Slam, not quite getting the knockout. Yeah, I could have tried to go for a CMP there. I think it's fine to shield this up, though. I have a Body Slam loaded. I have some energy as well on my Malamar. Actually, I almost have a Shadow Ball. No, I do have a Shadow Ball. Okay, well, it's a good thing I won Switch here this game. Florges in the back is not a Pokemon that I want to see with my Malamar especially. And I should be able to get a Body Slam plus a Shadow Ball off here, which is going to do quite a bit of damage. Yeah. And I would not necessarily say Corviknight is a great answer to Florges in the first place. It's not bad, don't get me wrong, but, like, it's way more neutrally annoying than it has any right to be. Alright, they're at 7 right now. That's insane attack downrange. Okay, and they throw energy into us here. Likely going to be a Chilling Water. I guess they could Moonblast us if they're crazy. So they're at 2 right now. Okay, Corsola comes in. And I think I just get to 2 foul plays here. I'd be kind of surprised if I didn't. But if I do get completely Psywave down, that is a little bit sad. But I think the Psywave, or did I say Psywave down? Astonish down, that is. But as long as I get the Psywave damage here, that puts them into range. Oh, yeah, of course they actually do knock us out. Anywho, if they're in range where I can knock them out with a payback, that's all that really matters. The payback plus the sand attack damage, that is. That Florges is pretty much energy dry at this point. Well, not dry necessarily, but I can outpace him as long as I'm careful with my energy management. So we'll see how they play this out. They'll go for the Nightshade. It's not going to knock us out. The next one, though, would knock us out. So if I can't knock out this Corsola before the next move is thrown, that could be bad. Interestingly enough, though, they just come in with their Florges, which I don't want to take a Chilling Water. We'll just snipe him down here with this Air Cutter. Maybe get that boost as well. A boost guarantees a knockout against this Corsola. Of course, we don't get the boost. But honestly, like, a payback is still going to hurt quite a bit here. We'll see, though. The fact I wasn't able to get a second foul play off is a little bit sad. Oh, boy. Please tell me I can set attack down. I can, just barely. Okay. That was a close game. Luckily, though, I guess Corviknight is just sick, and we survive, and we stand attack down, and we win. Alright, next battle. We'll see Malamar into Altaria. Okay. Very neutral lead matchup here, but I'm pretty happy to avoid this with my Corviknight in the back. As we might know, Corviknight is a Pokemon that doesn't want to take the flamethrower damage here from the Altaria. And also, it's a little bit sad how much damage the Dragon Breaths do to it, so it's a good thing that we're seeing the Altaria where we are. I'll shield the Sky Attack. It would do quite a bit of damage to us right now, so shield this up, overfarm a lot of energy just to make sure they can't really swap out. At least not until I have enough energy to threaten another move against the backline if they did end up swapping. We'll foul play here, and we'll see if they let that go. They do. Alright, foul play a second time right before the next Sky Attack. They can shield this if they want to, but I win the 2-shield matchup straight up against Altaria, so I can shield farm down and have a lot of energy for the backline. They do shield that. Makes sense. I'll shield this up myself. That's Psywave downrange. It would be a bit of an awkward Air Cutter, or Sand Attack rather, downrange, so we'll see if they do switch out what's going to happen. Alright, I'm going to go, I don't know why, but I'm going to go for the foul play here. Just because, I guess. Because why not? They're going to shield this either way. Yeah. So that way, like, I don't debuff myself on that one metal sound that they got into us. They'll get to 2 Hydro Cannons here against my Corviknight, which is a little bit sad. But honestly, I don't think a payback would have knocked them out just yet anyway, so that's fine. And I do survive double Hydro Cannons here. So, that's good. They throw the second one, but at this point, I should be able to throw the payback before they can swap out. And then that's going to neutralize most of what this Empoleon can do. Alright. Let's go for the payback. I don't think this quite knocks out still. I think they survive, and they should be able to potentially get Sand Attack down, but they switch out into a Shadow Tentacruel. That's a cool Pokemon. Luckily, though, I think at this point, I just sponge damage on my Lickilicky, and then I should be able to sweep this game with my Malamar. 6, 7, 8. Alright, so they are at a payback right now. I would imagine, though, they go for a Scald to fish for a debuff. They kind of need a debuff to win this game, or at least have any play left over. But no debuff for them. I just get a Shadow Ball through them. They're at 4 right now, so 2 away from their next Scald. But by landing the Shadow Ball, I think I just kind of put them into a range where I Psywave everything down. Oh, that basically knocks out. Wow. They have to throw a move instantly here. They do have a way to give themselves a little bit of a chance this game, and that's a perfect undercharge into a Metal Sound farm down with their Empoleon. But no, they just fully send that move. I should be able to Psywave down the Empoleon here pretty easily. Yeah, and then Psywave down the Altaria, Psywave down the Tentacruel. That should be game. And honestly, at some point here, I might even just get a Foul Play off, not even needing to fast move down. There we go, nice. Alright, next game. Shadow Malamar into Shadow Dusknoir. Alright, pretty neutral lead matchup here. The big problem with this is Astonish is a pretty high damaging attack, right? So, while I am a Dark type into a Ghost type here, they're still going to shred my HP quite a bit, and that is a little bit scary. With that said, I do outpace to Foul Plays. I'll get a shield advantage at the very least here, and hopefully I can set up my backline for some success. Alright, we'll go for a Shadow Punch catch. They're at 7 right now, which means that they are at back-to-back Shadow Punches. Surely they don't Dynamic Punch when Shadow Punch would have been enough? Yeah, okay, nice. 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, they bank a ton of energy, and then come back in Azumarill. That's fine. I get so much energy here on my Lickilicky that I think we're actually still in a pretty playable spot. Although they did bank back up to back-to-back moves on that Dusknoir, so keep that in mind. I wonder if they're on Hydro Pump here. If they are on Hydro Pump Azu, then that is a little bit better for them. But that might have been a CMP on 6, which is only a play rough if they did throw here. Alright. Big Shadow Ball. Yeah, okay, they did throw on 6. That's fine by me. I should be able to do 5 more rollouts, and then Shadow Ball should be enough to knock out. But if not, then they will survive on like 1 HP. That's the way the Go Battle League works. 3, 4, 5. This should be enough. They could catch here, potentially, but I don't know if they'd really want to at this point. And they don't go for it. That's nice to see. Big Shadow Ball. Do we get a shield? No, they do let that go as well. Oh, wow. Interesting. They give us a CMP here with our Lickilicky. This is going to be kind of awkward for them, because I could potentially go for like a combo play if I wanted to with my Malamar, which I don't know if they'd really want to let me do. I could also potentially just go for like a Psywave farm down. Oh, they let that go. Okay. What's in the back? Okay, nice. I think the play here is always just go Foul Play. I don't want to give my opponent the ability to just farm me down with Metal Sounds before I get a second attack off. So by going for the Foul Play here, well, first of all, I get a shield, which is amazing. Second of all, I just get this Foul Play without getting, or this Superpower rather, without getting farmed down. This should be enough to knock out. It's an Empoleon. Shadow Malamar is kind of cool like that. Yeah, nice. Okay, that was an interesting team. That catch on the Shadow Punch, though, was kind of huge to make sure that Dusknoir was not a huge problem for the backline. Alright, next game. Let's see if we can keep it going. We've had a pretty good run so far with this team. Shadow Malamar into Azumarill. Alright. Not the best lead, but honestly not the worst either. It's odd to say, but Malamar can 2-shield through this if I want to. I don't really want to, I'm gonna be honest, but like, I could try to go for that. I try to go for a catch, doesn't work. So they have a lot of energy here. But do they throw energy? They do, nice. I love this. Because now, this is a lot of energy wasted into Lickilicky that is not going to be focused into Malamar. They're at 3 right now, so 2 away from their next play rough. They come in with their own Lickilicky. That's a smart play. The classic chip and dip into Lickilicky. This is going to make it so my energy is a lot less efficient than I'd like it to be. But it's also going to make it so potentially this Lickilicky here is not going to be as big of a threat for me for, like, my Corviknight. Because Corviknight into Lickilicky, it's actually not as good for Corviknight as I'd like it to be. Big Body Slam. And they likely are just going to keep on building up here. Yeah. They're not quite yet in Foul Play range, are they? I don't think so. It's kind of close, though. I'll go for the Body Slam on CMP. I have back-to-back here. So if they did not throw, which it looks like they did throw, but if they didn't throw, then I'd be able to guarantee the second Body Slam landing. Yeah, but smart play by them to throw the energy here. But I can come back in Malamar, and my energy on Malamar is not really that useful into Azumarill in the first place, so I can just use it here. And since they used energy against my Malamar with their Azumarill, we gotta keep in mind they don't have as much as they'd like. They're only at 3 bubbles, and that is a lot more playable here for me than they'd probably want it to be. Okay, Galarian Moltres in the back. 6. Alright, I'm going for a bit of a crazy bait. This could be a really good play or a really bad play. There's not much in between here. Nice call. But it's fine. We either get a shield here, or a decent chunk of damage. And either way, I can't be too upset about that. Yeah, I should have superpowered first. 11, 12, 13, 14... Oh, man, we're going to be in a spot here where, like, if they have payback, I'm in a pretty bad spot. But if they're not on payback, then I wall their energy, right? I get a boost there. I don't know what to do. I think I'm going to shield this up, at least to play it safe. If they have payback, they probably throw it. They fly. That's insane. Oh, man. What do I do here? Honestly, I feel like they have it. Oh, they double fly bait? Wow, I was not expecting that at all. I was never expecting that. That's a well-played double bait by them. Oh, man. I can't believe they just did that. But I mean, Azu comes back in. That's still playable. But why are they building up so much energy? That is actually a little bit scary to me. This energy that they're building up might imply they're on a Hydro Pump. And that would not be great. We'll see, though. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're not. Maybe it's just an Ice Beam coming through, but honestly, they have us either way, this game. I don't think there's a way for us to win. Like, the only way that I have a chance here is if for some reason they shielded this, and that's just not happening. They're not shielding this ever. But I need to, like, oh, man, I need to be able to have an Air Cutter for the Moltres. Yeah, no, they just have us there. I should have no-shielded a Fly, and then maybe I would have had a chance, but honestly, with Malamar having nowhere to go, I don't think there'd be much of a chance. And the classic, it's Accent Special. The 4-0 to the 4-1. I just can't get the 5-0 here. Even if I really try. Dang, alright, well, our elo is actually pretty high, so maybe a good thing we didn't. Alright, next battle. Gotta win this one. Hopefully they're not gonna just destroy Malamar this game. And honestly, that's not great to see. But it's more playable for Malamar than you might give it credit. In fact, Malamar straight up wins the 2-shield matchup here, which is kind of crazy to say, but it is true. So we'll see how they want to play this out. Well, okay, I win the 2-shield matchup if they let a foul play go. If they double shield, they can win on CMP. But they do let that go. I think the way that I win this game, or like rather that I have the most amount to play, is like, what if I just double shield my Malamar here? This way I guarantee that the Pokemon that likely resists all of my charge attack pressure is going to be neutralized, and then my foul plays and superpowers likely get shields against the backline, or does, hopefully, a considerable amount of damage. We'll see what they do, though. They likely do switch after this, but I would love it if they give me a farm down. Okay, they do swap. I'm going to just go for a superpower here, get as much raw damage as I can. Gastrodon is one of the few things in the game that actually will be able to survive pretty easily either of my charge attacks. I'm going to bank a move, come in Corviknight, and now they're in Air Cutter range, which is pretty nice for us, but this game is still going to be a little bit scary depending on the final Pokemon. It could be a second Mud Slapper. It could be like a Eufisk. It could be an actual Ice counter, though, too. I don't know. Alright, we'll just go for the Air Cutter here. They can shield this technically if they do want to get a Water Pulse off, but that doesn't knock us out. Honestly, I feel like that would be a bit of a waste of a shield on their part, but maybe they do go for that. Nice, we get the knockout here. Togekiss is still around, so they might have to shield this up. I could have overfarmed a little bit here, but just in case they do shield this, I want to get a shield down early, if possible. They do let that go, okay. Oh boy. I don't love to see that. We'll see what we can do. That's all I can say. I'm going to come in Lickilicky here and force him to go for a close combat, potentially. Oh, they throw really quick. Is this an instant close combat by them? Or is this a Rage Fist? It's an Ice Punch. I don't know how to feel about that. Is that not better for me? Eight. Okay. I mean, they can't really shield this up, right? I have a move on my Malamar. Although, maybe they can. Maybe they can. They do shield. I kind of wish they would have no-shielded that. 10. Alright. This game's gonna get so weird. Because they have back-to-back moves right now. But I have a move on my Malamar as well. Oh, okay. I was gonna go for like a single sand attack into like a combo play. But they actually just instantly throw anyway. So we get the Rachis on our Corviknight. We swap out, we superpower that we have loaded. And while this might not knock out, I think like the next Psywaves and sand attacks might be enough if this isn't. Oh, but that just straight up knocks out. Okay, that was a very annoying endgame there, but luckily, saving that superpower is actually kind of huge on our Malamar. Oh my goodness. Next battle. Regional champion. Let's see what they're gonna run. Alright, we're gonna see how they play this out, because Lickilicky doesn't really want to see this Pokemon, but what we do like here is our Corviknight into Mud Slappers, so it's kind of awkward. It's not the spot I want to be in, but it's not the worst spot in the world. Slywave damage is going to add up quite a bit. It will eventually put them into Body Slam range. And I can just straight up outpace with my Malamar here, but it's, like the fast move pressure, right? That's what's kind of worrisome for me. Big Bone Club, we're going to go for the instant foul play, I think. And that way, either we get his shield here, or maybe, I don't know if this is quite enough for a knockout. It is Shadow into Shadow, so it's going to do a lot. But either way, I think I'm just going to swap into my Lickilicky, because now they're in Shadow Ball range. 2, 3, okay. They're 1 away from a Bone Club here. I could wait a turn and see what they come in with, because I think they're not going to stay in. But if they do stay in, I just Shadow Ball. Okay, yeah, it's a good thing I didn't do that. Lickilicky comes in, trying to catch my Shadow Ball. That is why sometimes not tapping is the play. You get to see what's going to come in, and not just blindly Shadow Ball into normal types. Alright, 3, 4, 5. Okay, they have a lot of energy here on Lickilicky. And there is a bit of energy left over on that Marowak. I wish I could switch here, but I'm not quite able to. But I do get a third Body Slam off, and they're at 7 right now, so they have about as much energy as a Lickilicky can have. They do need to go for a second move, though, to knock us out. I'm going to let this go. So they're at 7, so they'd be at 4 right now. Let's see what happens. Oh, interesting. They swap into Marowak. I don't really know what I want to do. I mean, I guess I don't shield this. I don't love taking a Rock Slide here, though. I really don't. Because that does do quite a bit of damage. And my Malamar's pretty low on HP as well. But, I mean, it's not like I can shield that. I don't know what their final Pokemon is. And Malamar with a shield can still put in some work, depending on what's in the back here. We get the knockout. Hopefully no Talonflame coming in or anything crazy. Although if it is Talonflame, maybe there's still a chance. Oh, it's a Gourgeist that comes in. Interesting. 3, alright. This is going to do quite a bit of damage here, but it's not going to be enough to knock out. I'm going to swap out here, try to go for the Psywave damage. Oh man, I don't know what to do here, actually. I don't know what to do. I need to try to go for a farm down, I think. I think my only play there was getting the farm down, unfortunately. Although maybe there's a chance. I see, like, one way to win this game. Although, I might have just come in a little bit too quickly here. We'll see. If Seed Bomb doesn't knock us out, I'm actually one rollout away from a Body Slam, I think. They Shadow Ball. Wait, they're not at back-to-back Shadow Balls, are they? Okay. Okay, if I survived the Seed Bomb, I think I was gonna have to, like, incinerate damage transfer or something, or, like, try to maybe get a Body Slam off. Luckily, we just get the Body Slam. We don't even need to worry about those shenanigans. Lickilicky is just too good. Alright, our next game, let's see. Shadow Malamar into Altaria. Alright. Pretty neutral matchup here. They do a lot of fast move pressure, and they can basically one-shot us with Sky Attack, but I outpace them. So, through and through, this matchup is pretty good for Malamar. But it's also, like, a little bit dicey depending on what they do. They're at 15 right now. So, they're 2 past a Sky Attack. Oh, that was actually a CMP, never mind. Okay. That's fine, though. I think I'm fine just building up some extra energy here. If they do swap out of this matchup, I can chip and dip with my Malamar if I need to. And if they don't, then, I mean, I can just probably build up even more energy here. Go for the foul play right about now, which should be CMP once again, and guarantee a shield or the Altaria will go down. Let's see what they do. Big foul play. Makes sense. They shield that. I'm going to save my Malamar. I feel like there's a lot of things that could be in the backline that either having switch advantage against or being able to chip and dip with a foul plate or superpower will be pretty helpful against. Okay, Shadow Feraligatr. That is a little bit scary. Hold on, is this my own team? That might be my own team actually coming through. I'll go for the foul play here. And, I mean, now they're basically in fast move farm down range after a body slam range. Or after a body slam. I don't know why I said it like that. So that's good. I think 2 Hydro Cannons, though, 2-shot Lickilicky from Shadow Gator, right? Basically. But I might survive this on, like, 1 HP. And if I do survive this, I'm in a pretty good spot. If I don't, then it's been nice knowing you guys. Yeah, we survive. Lickilicky is a trooper. Shadow Ball is going to be able to knock him out. And if it is the team that I think it is in the backline, with a guy in the back, an Empoleon, we should be in a pretty good spot. Oh. Okay, so it's not my team. I'm a little bit too egotistical. I think everything's going to be my team. Oh, shoot. Nice play by them. I was trying to watch for that, but the stutter lag. I'm going to blame it on lag, but it was probably just a bad play by me. Alright. We're going to go for this play, where we undercharge a little bit here. Oh, boy. This is so bad. This is not ideal. Maybe 2 paybacks, though, will be enough to knock out, still, even with the debuffs. They don't 2-shot us just yet with Rock Tomb. It takes a lot of acids to get to that point. And I can clear my debuff, actually, at some point. So maybe this game is not over. I could honestly still see myself winning this game, but it's going to be a lot closer than it could have been if I would have just paybacked the Cradilly like I should have. Okay. They're at the next move right now. I believe Corviknight wins CMP here. So just bank the move, come in Malamar, and payback. Yeah, nice. That was way closer than it had to be. That was such a nice catch by them, though, with that superpower. I should have called it. I should have just, like, swapped out, and, like, known they were going to catch, but what I knew is I knew we'd win that game, even with that superpower catch, so we just wanted to make sure the game was as interesting as possible. Alright, we got our next game. Malamar into Shadow Kanto Marowak. I think we've seen this lead earlier today. Very neutral matchup here, right? The Mud Slaps add up a lot. I am so excited for the Mud Slap nerf. It's going to make it so this matchup is so much more playable. Where, like, I think Malamar technically does still survive and get 3 foul plays off, but it's so close. Alright, I'm going to go for this play, where I catch a Bone Club, and I sneak a rollout. Because I think the Psywave damage has basically put them into Shadow Ball range, and Lickilicky, while it's not amazing into Marowak, it's not bad here either. 3, 4... Okay, so they're at 1 right now, unless they Rock Slide, in which case they're at 0. Let's see what's about to happen. They do Bone Clubs, they're at 1. They probably try to catch here. No, they don't, so we'll just go for the Shadow Ball instantly. Guarantee either a shield or a lot of damage into the Marowak. Nice, okay. I could shield this if I wanted to. Oh, they don't even get a move off. Wait, Lickilicky. Beautiful. So now I probably get a Body Slam into whatever comes in. Maybe a Shadow Ball if it's really bulky and doesn't do a lot of fast move pressure, but probably don't want to risk that. Oh, I can definitely Shadow Ball this. It's not actually bulky, but it's one of the worst fast moves in the game. It's using Metal Sound, so we can get the Shadow Ball off here, which is actually a remarkably good amount of damage to land into Empoleon. They're at 4 right now. I'll come in Corviknight. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I think I no-shield the first. They're already pretty soft to Corviknight here, so I either want to force both moves into Corviknight, or I want to, like, have them swap out and save my shield for my Malamar. But they do throw the second attack, so I'll shield the second here. Okay, Air Cutter should be enough to knock out from this point. Or if it's not, it at the very least puts them into a farm down range for my Malamar or for my Corviknight. Nice, that does knock out. Oh boy, Azu in the back. Love to see it. This is going to be an interesting game, because I still have some energy left over on my Malamar, and, I mean, I'm going to spam so many moves out with my Corviknight. An instant boost? Thank you, Corviknight. That's like the first boost I've got on you in years. But I think if we ever force energy against our Corviknight with the Azu, we should be in a really good spot. Corviknight, I love you! Did I throw an alignment? I did. That is bad, actually, by me. I should not have done that. I thought they might try to throw the Ice Beam there. Oh, they shield that? I think that's game over then. Yeah, because now I get another Air Cutter off. And I think I guarantee a move into Azumarill with my Malamar. I think I do, right? Because they're going to take two more, or rather, one more bubble to get the next move after this. Like, no matter what, right now, they are one more bubble away from the next attack. Azu can never have back-to-back attacks, so it always takes one more bubble to reach the next move. So I'll go for 3 Psywaves, go for the superpower. Honestly, if it weren't for Corviknight just deciding to boost about 50 times this game, this endgame could have been a little bit scarier. But honestly, we still have HP on our Corviknight and our Malamar. I think there's still a chance, but I will definitely take the boosts. Alright, we got our next opponent. I think this is once again a Game 5, where I've won the first 4 games, which is not good for me. I don't have a good track record on these kinds of games. But we see a GoGote in the lead, which is probably good to see with our Malamar here. I have been seeing this guy run GoGote recently, and they've had an interesting team with Basti Jellicent in the back. I would not be surprised if that's the case here, and if that is the case, then my Corviknight, on paper, has quite a bit of play. Oh wait, they no-shield that? I think, honestly, if it is that team, is there ever a reason not to just shield this up then? I was kind of surprised they let that go. I thought for sure, maybe it's not Basti, maybe it's a different team. But, like, if it is Basti, don't you always go for switch advantage? Okay, Skeletor, so I guess we got duped. It's a different team. With that said, winning switch advantage here is still pretty helpful, although it could be double fire, and that would not be good. 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so they're at 100 energy right now. They have to throw in bad timing here to get their move off before they do their next Incinerate and go even further over 100 energy. Oh, well, I guess they just want to go over 100 energy here. This could be a Blast Burn, technically, but they have back-to-back either way, so if it has Blast Burn, I am in a bad spot no matter what. And if it's Torch Song, I definitely do not want to shield the first. Alright, we'll shield this up. I want to make sure if it is double fire, that I keep my Lickilicky around, and I did just get a full rollout sneak there. I can do one more rollout. Oh. Well, I was, like, really worried about a certain team comp. It was, like, completely different than what I thought it was. I should get a second Shadow Ball off here, right? Unless they throw energy. Yeah, well, this is pretty good. I get to land this Shadow Ball here. That's basically going to knock him out. It's probably not quite enough here. Oh, it actually is. Honestly, is it good for me that that knocks out? It probably isn't. Because now they do get a Torch Song into my, my guy. But I think I survive a Torch Song from here. If I don't, that's not ideal. I should have undercharged just a little bit with my Lickilicky, so that way I could have got a zero-turn swap out, and that would have guaranteed that this Pokemon would not have got a move off against us. But I think with how low they are still on that GoGote, as well as the fact that I think I just outpace them to an Air Cutter still anyway, with my Corviknight, or just an attack down. Yeah, there we go. We actually got a 5-0 set? Wait a second, I didn't think that was possible. Alright. Well, our Q times are going to really just start skyrocketing now. I mean, they're already pretty bad. Was that our second set? I think that was only our second set of the day, too, so I don't know if we're going to find too many more battles. And that gets us up where? That's got to be a season high. 3360. Oh, no. That's not good. I think it's pretty safe to say this team worked out pretty well. A 90% win rate to send it off. I mean, Malamar's going to be pretty good next season. I feel like with a lot of the nerfs that we're seeing the next season, Bullet Punch and Mud Slap, there's going to be a little bit more play even for Pokemon like this. So it'll be interesting to see how the next season is going to play out. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.